So I've got his little light green eye, or dark green eyes. Those are my little cat eyes. And the thing that makes eyes come to life is when they have a little reflection point in them. So anytime you do eyes, you always want to have a little light white reflection point in it, because that's what gives the eyeballs life. So I'm going to take some white paint, and I'm just going to put a tiny little white dot right in the eyeballs, right in the iris part of the color part of the eye. And that's going to give him a nice little spark of life. So there, put our little reflection of light in there. So he's got his little light. And now we're going to take the white and we are going to paint his little mouth on there. Because he's a black cat, we're going to use white paint. So again, a very, very fine brush, and steady your hand really well and paint the little smile. So it's like a little sideways 3, just 2 little half circles. So I'm going to steady my hand again and do one side and the other. And I'll turn it around so you can see his cute little smile. And that's all you've done. You've done just a tiny little smile. And then I like to take a little white and go inside his ears. So I'm taking the brush and I'm just putting the brush right in the little hole and brushing up. Right in the little hole and brushing up. Because I like how that looks inside his ears. I like to give his ears a little, like his ears are white inside. Like that. So I think that's it. I think we have our little finished kitty. Now we're ready to start putting our cake together. All right, so we're ready to take our cake and start adding our embellishments that we've created. So I've got my 2 tiers that I'm going to put my little curly cues on. Now I want to make sure that I put them in equal spaces all the way around. So one quick trick to doing that is I've got a 6-inch parchment for my 6-inch cake and an 8-inch parchment for my 8-inch cake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half like this, and then I'm going to fold it in half again and again and one last time. So I'm folding it in half till I get a tiny little cone like this. And what that does is that is going to give me exact measurements all the way around. So you can see my parchment has equal measurements all the way around. So now I can look at this and I can make tick marks just coming right off of these measurements, and that'll tell me exactly where to put my pieces. So I'm going to do the same with this one. Fold it in half. Fold that in half. Fold that in half. And then one more. And you can go as small as you want and make as many of these as you want. But this is a really quick and easy way to get exact measurements all the way around your cake. So I've done that, so I know where my pieces are going to go. Now I'm not sure how big these are, so for now I'm going to mark every other one because I want to make sure I don't crowd them. So I'm going to take a pin and I'm going to get down even with the cake. I always like to work even with the cake, you know, when you're trying to get close up like that. And I'm going to look at my first measurement and I'm going to make just a tick mark right below that measurement. And I'm just putting a little pin mark in there. And I'm going to do it here. I'm going to go all the way around and do that on every other mark that I've done, every other fold. Because I want to start putting those on first, every other one. And then if that looks too empty, then I'll add the ones in between. But for now, I don't want to overcrowd it. And this way you also always make sure you end up with an even amount because you're folding it in half. So coming right off of there, putting my little tick mark, coming right off of this one, putting my little tick mark, and then off of there. And I think, yep, I've gone all the way around. So I've got tick marks on all of those. So I'm going to start with the ones I have, every other one, and then we're going to fill in if we need to.